Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here, and welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to be talking about potential winter one-shots for the holiday season. Shall we get started? So to those of you who celebrate, this coming Wednesday is going to be Christmas, so Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I hope you all get to spend time with your loved ones. Today we are going to talk about winter one-shot ideas. So we didn't reach the 300 subscriber goal that I had set, so we're not going to be doing a live stream for it, but we can get into the festive theme, so why don't we do that? And yeah, I'm blocking it, so let's fix that. Better. All right. So, yes, we have the 3 kobolds in a coat. I have run a couple winter one-shots. One of them took 2 sessions, so it wasn't really a one-shot, but one was a successful actual one-shot. I've done a video on this before about making one-shots and what you need to do, how to set them up. Always need to make sure that you have enough material for a fun story, but not too much material where it takes multiple sessions. Otherwise, it's no longer a one-shot. It's a mini campaign. There are so many different types of winter one-shots out there, Christmas one-shots, things like that. There are so many modules out there, say modules, that third-party companies have put out there for Santa's Workshop, helping Santa save Christmas. I mean, I did one where the party had to go rescue Santa, or as I called him, Nicholas, who was a mountain dwarf that made toys and goods for those who were good out of the plane of ice. He would plane shift to the material plane, to the prime plane, to deliver the goods and all that. The story that I set up was that Krampus came and abducted him. So Nicholas's shadow came to life and abducted him. And the party was gathered by a beholder who loved the Christmas time. I think I called it winter gift giving festivities or something like that. I can't remember what I called it, but it was some fancy way of calling it Christmas. So all the party members were level 20. I had them max themselves out, and I gave them a boon, each a boon. And they were summoned by a beholder to the astral plane where he resided, and they entered his domain, first of all, they woke up floating in the astral plane, the astral sea, and they floated towards these ruins, this temple. And when they walked in, they saw this massive room of candlelights, a massive Christmas tree in the center that reached over 100 feet tall, decorated to the tens. And they met the beholder, who wore a little Santa Claus hat. He brought them there to have them go find out what happened to his friend Nicholas, who by now would usually have been to meet him and have a little celebration, a pre-gift delivering celebration, I should say, because he always received the first gift and he hadn't seen him yet. So the party agreed, and that he sent them to the plane of ice since he could not leave the astral plane. And that's when they found that he was abducted. They said that his shadow came to life, abducted Nicholas, and they had to go find him. Their only clue was a snow hag. I had so many different ideas for the one shot that I wanted to do, and I just kind of combined them. And so they went to meet the hag. I always have an option in any encounter, well, 9 out of 10 encounters, for there to be a fight or a peaceful resolution. They surprisingly met with a peaceful resolution because there were snow and ice golems around that could have easily given them a hard time. But they actually negotiated that confrontation really well. I had a chance for something to be stalking them as they left the hag to go meet some other potential companion. I had them roll. They lucked out. They only encountered snowstorms and they completely avoided snow giants, the frost giant encounter. There was also a chance for them to encounter undead, but they ended up encountering one of my characters that I used to play back in the well, not back in the day, but I had played in a campaign, who was a high elf wizard that befriended a lot of dragons. He was a professor at a college, and he befriended a gold dragon whose hoard was a library. And due to him helping save the realm and at the same time also protecting other dragons, this dragon gave him access to the library, unlimited access, and in turn learned ancient rituals and whatnot, and was given the opportunity to become a dragon himself. So he became an ice dragon, and I put it for that, for my world, he became the first ice dragon. And so he lives in the plane of ice when he's on sabbatical as a professor. So they met him, and when they met him, they ended up being attacked by devils. They actually were attacked by devils when they reached Nicholas's town, where his shop is located. Devils were attacking while they were there, and so that's how Nicholas's shadow came to life and took him. They ended up finding out where he was being held. Like I said, Krampus was Nicholas's shadow come to life. And so they ended up going, fighting Krampus. They fought another dragon on the way there, who was another character that I had created as a playable character for a campaign that never happened. So I turned him into another dragon. So that was fun, but I had it to where the two DM PC dragons fought, and I just rolled dice at the end of every round during their fight with Krampus to see who won, like who was winning the fight, and if they would have an ally or another enemy show up during their fight with Krampus. Well, they lucked out. They ended up beating Krampus, and the ice dragon, the high elf wizard, survived, won, and ended up showing up just in time. They found out who animated Nicholas's shadow, but he got away. So the next winter one shot we did, I made it to where the escaped villain was responsible for what was happening. The party was called to aid that wizard again, the elf wizard, the high elf wizard. And he told them about an issue where a dear friend of his was missing, and they needed to go find out what was going on. So long story short, they ended up having to fight a bunch of undead. And because of a project that I backed from Dren Production Games called Book of Zombies, I had access to many different types of dwarf zombies. I had access to orc zombies. I had access to a different frost giant zombie. So I was able to incorporate a bunch of different undead for them to face. And they ended up reaching the central of this dwarven castle, this dwarven enclave. They found a ritual being conducted. There we go. I figured out the word. And the ritual tile, I actually used like battle maps and 3D tiles for the encounters. So when they went inside and found the ritual being conducted, the ritual tile was actually a tile that I got. Well, the whole set was from a company called Modular Realms that I had backed on Kickstarter before. I actually just recently did a Kickstarter promo for their latest project. Their website will be in the description box down below, so feel free to check them out. Awesome products. And the tile actually had my face with my Call of Duty Ghosts mask on and a Santa hat on. So my players got a kick out of that, but they got there too late, and the ritual was finished, and they had to face an undead dragon, which I actually had 3D printed a large undead dragon for them. It was really cool. It was fun. It was like they enjoyed themselves. I'm always worried whenever I do one shots, because I'm worried it'll go too long or they'll be too overpowered or underpowered. I'm afraid that either I or the players will steamroll the other, but it went perfectly well. They had a blast. And so I was thinking about these this past week trying to figure out what would be fun for others. And yeah, you can always talk to your players and say, hey, what would you be interested in a winter one shot? You have so many Santa themes one shots. Notice how my second one didn't involve Santa, but involved the previous one shot we did. So some of those characters came back. But you can easily do something with a snow hag or any hag in general. If you don't have access to Kobold Press stuff, you have access to just Wizards of the Coast stuff, or you don't have access physically, you can always go online and Google them, search up their images of their stat blocks, and just jot them down or print them out. You can easily do something with a hag, like a hag is abducting children from a village during the winter festivals, getting ready to, the harvest festivals coming up, the winter solstice. There we go, winter solstice. That's what I've been trying to think of this whole time. They could be abducting children, or people could be claiming that they would see these snowmen outside their homes during the day, but then at night they would hear the children scream. They'd come back, they'd rush to their room to see it empty, and they would see a trail just dug through the snow away from the window where the snowman was. So you could have snowmen, which would be snow golems, which again from Kobold Press abducted their children and are taking them to a hag. They could be taking them to an ice troll or a troll in general. There's options with that. If you want to go with the Santa route, you could be helping Santa save Christmas or winter solstice. If you want to go with the Krampus route, there are so many stat blocks you can find online for Krampus, which I did. I even found one where it was the picture from the movie Krampus from the, I think it was the early 2010s. And so that was a really cool reference to have. So many options you can do. You can even do something involving the Fey Court, the Sealy Court, Ice Golems, anything. And these are all giving you options for different levels for your players to be. So if you go with Krampus, you're going to want a level 20 party for sure. There's just so many options you can go with. Rime of the Frost Maiden is an interesting, it's a winter themed module. In fact, this character, the 3 kobolds in a trench coat, are actually in there, so that's a good one. The Frost Maiden is a really interesting module. It's kind of sandboxy, but it takes place in the spine of the world, which is far north in of the Sword Coast and the Faerun realm. So that's a good one to go with if people want to stick with something familiar and a module. There are plenty of one-shots out there that have been created by third-party creators. You can make one your own. Like I said, the 2 I did, I came up with on my own, doing something that I thought would be fun, that I knew I would enjoy and my players would enjoy based on what we've played together before. So those are some ideas for you. You can easily go with a Realm of Dread, where the party is pulled in because they're on the naughty list, or the lord of that realm has abducted Santa Claus or is abducting people because they're on the naughty list and they want to make everyone pay for them being on there when it's their own fault. These are just ideas I'm spitballing out to you. There are so many different options that you can go with. Spelljammers has the astral plane options. Again, you can do something with the plane of ice. There's so many, and of course you can also include yetis and abominable yetis. There's just, again, so many options. These are just ideas that I'm throwing out to you that you can easily use to build on. I would love to hear if you have ever run a winter one-shot or played in a winter one-shot. What kind of character did you make? What was their backstory? If you were the creator of the game, if you were the DM, what kind of story did you come up with, or what story did you run? What did your players have to do? What was the main villain? What was the planning of it? I'd love to hear in the comments down below what you all did, if you've done one. If you haven't, what kind of winter one-shot would you like to do or be a part of? I'd love to hear about that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because this was supposed to be really short, but it's kind of lengthy per se as my fingers crack, my goodness. But if you enjoyed this video, if you were entertained by the ideas, the discussion that I've given you, the plots, please give this a like, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then hit the bell icon, set notifications to all, get notified when I upload videos and do live streams. Comment down below if you have or have not done a winter one-shot. If you have, what kind have you done, whether you were a player or a DM? If not, what kind would you like to do? And then also, please lastly, share this video, bring awareness to my channel, and help me continue to grow. Let's see if we can get to 300 before my birthday. We might do something special then. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. So please, as always, take care of yourselves. And until next time, hobby on.